Hey, good morning. Well, here it is Sunday morning, so another week has gone by, and I have seen so much growth in the garden, it just blows my mind. The potatoes is uh, probably the most surprising of all. The Adirondack Blues, they have grown so much, you just will not believe they're already coming out of the bag. So I'm excited to show you everything in the garden today. Here's a lot more stuff from the grow room I have brought out, and you can see everything is really getting big. Tomatoes, peppers, everything is getting really big. There's some of the peppers there. The tomatoes in the bag are just getting huge, and I am going to be getting some of those in the ground today. Here's some of the newer stuff. It's still small. Putting it out here today so it can get a little bit of sunshine. The green grapes have not grown a whole lot. I think they may whenever I get them in the ground. I think they're slow growers anyway. And this red ranunculus has finally bloomed. And oh my goodness, that thing is so beautiful. It's just magnificent. Look at that. See if I can get out of the light. This is my mustard greens, and they are finally starting to get a little bit of growth on them. And here's the one I really could not wait to show you because it is completely coming out of the bag, y'all. I'll insert a picture here in just a second of what it looked like last week and maybe even the week before if I can find a photo easy enough so that you can see how much growth this thing has done in just a week's time. And those leaves are just gorgeous with that bluish black color in it. That comes from anthocyanins that is in that plant, and that is also what makes the potato its blue color. And it's also really good for you. This is my bag of Kennebecs I just planted not even a week ago, I don't think. And I don't see any sign of growth coming out of that one yet. Here are the Brussels sprouts, and I have just a little insect cloth over top of it because the cabbage moth loves to get a hold of that, and it will lay eggs on it, and the larva will eat it alive, literally. It has not grown a whole lot. It may already be too hot for it. I think it was 90 degrees yesterday, y'all. It went from 60 to 90 in 2.2 seconds. Now, I came out yesterday and tilled this bed just a little bit, just enough to get some weeds up and to mix all of the compost in. So it's almost ready. I'll get out here and rake it level later on today, and I'll get some tomatoes planted, which I'm the most excited about. My rose is really starting to get a lot of growth on it. I cannot wait to see how beautiful this thing is going to be. And if I have time today, I will start working on getting the planter box ready for it. I'm going to do that out of landscape timbers. And this is my red potato that I done from store-bought tomatoes, and that thing is growing wild also. And these are the tatsoi greens that are just now starting to take off. They have been really slow. Another thing I done yesterday is what you see right here. This little row of straw down through there are the potatoes that I just planted. So I just used the brick to separate the walkway from the bed. Then I done a row of potatoes, and I literally just put cardboard down, put some compost on top of the cardboard, set the potatoes in the compost, and then I just covered it with the straw. This will be the first year I have done that method, so I'm excited to see how that turns out. The beans that I've got under the insect cloth right here are really starting to take off. That's a Blue Lake pole bean, and it is really taken off. The cucumber beside of it is kind of slow starting off. I think I might see a little bit of good growth over the past week, but prior to that it was not hardly growing at all. It does not like cold weather. And then just beside of that is the soybean. And then way down on the other end, I wanted to see if I could do a comparison of which end of this bed the bean's done better in. Way down there is another Blue Lake pole bean. Well, I took a break for just a little bit and went to church and came back. So now the sun is out really, really bright. But we're going to press on and get this garden tour done anyway. So let me flip this camera around. Okay. So out here, I'm going to start calling this a field if my husband doesn't come mow. Oh, he'll think that's real funny when he watches this. So out here yesterday evening, I planted a couple of sunflowers, which I'm really excited about. I absolutely love sunflowers. So I have the Russian Mammoth, and let's see. This one is going to be the Autumn Beauty. Last year, the Autumn Beauty was my favorite sunflower. It was not the biggest, but it was certainly my favorite because it was so beautiful, and I did not have any others that beautiful. Yesterday, I also planted a tomato, and this is my black strawberry. I've had so many people ask about these and want to purchase some. So I kept the smallest one, and I have either giveaway or sold the other black strawberries. Next year I will have to make sure I do plenty more of those. And the purple kale, it does not look like it's a whole lot bigger, but we have eat just a little bit off of that. There we go. That bright sun is going to keep me from getting some good footage, I'm afraid. But anyway, so we ate a little bit off of that yesterday. And it is delicious, by the way. The purple kale is my favorite. Still got some tomatoes and peppers. No, actually the peppers are up on the porch. I've got tomatoes, beans, and melons in here. And the melons, I will not be putting any more melons in the ground until after Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, because I think it's supposed to get cold once again. And I've already put 2 of them out too early, and the cold got them. So I'm not going to put any more out until after the middle of this week. And I also planted a German Johnson tomato yesterday, which was one of my favorites last year. I'm so excited to be able to have some of these this year. We still have not moved these berry bushes, but this is a blackberry bush, and it is a thornless blackberry bush, but it is too big to sit here at the end of this plant bed. So we're going to move it and the raspberry bush. And this is the grape that I had from last year. You can see the buds starting to come out on it. That bed needs to be finished. And y'all, this apple tree, oh my goodness. I knew the apples got blooms, but I did not know how fragrant and beautiful they are. It's not going to focus real good. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? So it has a few blooms on it. And I tell you what, it is so fragrant. The smell actually reminds me of the way a rose smells. And I was already thinking that, and then thought it was my imagination, but then my husband made the same comment when he came over and smelled it. And then last but certainly not least, the Fuji apple tree. It's starting to get a lot of leaves on it. So that's it for this garden tour. Everything is really starting to grow, and next week when you join me, you will see a huge difference because this week I'm going to be doing a lot of planting. I'm going to be planting mainly tomatoes out in the main bed, and I'm going to do some flowers over here in this little raised bed. But you'll see a big difference next week when you tune in. Remember to not plant your plants in the heat of the day if it's hot like it is today. I'm anxious to get my tomatoes started, but I don't want to start them in the heat of the day. It's just too hot. Even though it is still early spring, it's getting really hot in the middle of the day, and that sun beating down is hard on them. So plant them in the morning, early morning, or late evening if you want the best results. And it's a little easier on your plant when you plant them like that. So happy gardening, you all. I hope you enjoy the day, and God bless you.